Привет из Дубая. С вами передача «ГолубьМира», где разбираем крутые навыки. Спрашиваем на английском, отвечаем на русском. Подтягивайте язык или смотрите перевод в тайм-кодах. Let's talk about Stakeholder's Mastery and let's start with the definition.
Stakeholder is a person who are involved in something maybe without knowing it. For example, if you pay salary to Maxim Golubь, you think that Maxim takes his money, but you could not know about his wife, about his son, about his mother, and so on. But if you, for example, would fire Maxim, Maxim will not get this money, and all of these people also will have a problem. The same, for example, with me. For example, I make some decisions, and I'm gambling, and I'm put on stake my flat, and I lose it, and people who live with me, they will not have place to live. So stakeholder, this is all people who are involved in something, and when you're doing business, you should remember about them. For example, you have a small factory and you make, for example, candles. So you have workers, you have their families, you have neighborhoods close to their factory which maybe don't like smoke which is going from your pipes. Maybe they don't want smell or kind of the water.
Type of the or kind.
Kind of the water. Maybe they don't want to have so many concrete because you want to have enough parking lots for your people, and so on. Or for example, you are building a plane, and a lot of people will ask you why you put chairs so close. This is not enough place for us, and you don't know how it will going on. Who will complain? Not just people. Maybe they will say, come on, we have our pets, and also wants to pets sitting close to us. So you should take in account all stakeholders when you do business, when you conduct services, and when you are making money.
And when we're trying to identify or even map the stakeholders, what kind of framework we should use and how exactly we should measure there? Maybe there might be like a direct stakeholders or indirect, like a open, explicit or hidden, or maybe they also would have a certain weight or weights. So how exactly we should approach to this process?
I will say you several examples from my life. I was working in same city where you're staying right now, in Dubai, and this was a very funny business. A very old Arabic man was conducting it, and he was saying salary to the man with two halves. If a man has a wife, his wife gets bonus, or if he has no wife, his mother gets a bonus. And I asked this person, why you giving bonuses not to your workers, but to wives or to mothers? And the answer of this old man was the same. If a wife has a money, he is happy about his husband, and they say you are good working and so on. But if this person will not have a bonus for some months, wife will ask, why do I have no money? Because you're working bad. So wives and mothers will help me to take my workers in a good shape. And you know, it's a very, very good example, because that is how to deal with stakeholders. The same, for example, when you are given insurance to the family. Sometimes men do not want to buy insurance for the flat, and you will find that men and women and children, they are asking to this service, and suddenly you realize that this was intention from the wife. So you should speak not to the man who is paying for it, but to wife who must make decision.
And let's say like we identify the stakeholders. Now we might be working with them from a different roles. Let's say we are employee, or we might be sitting on the board, but yet we're not the true stakeholder. We might be in a top management, or we might be someone external who was like invited, or just like like a summoned to serve a certain problem.
Maxim, you know, this was in Ulyanovsk, this city in the middle of Russia, and I was trying to build a big operational center for Alfa Bank, and suddenly I was asked to have a meeting with governor of the, how to say, region, government,
Governor.
governor of the region. And it was very, very strange. I was asked, do I have any chance to help? And I was thinking, why this man is asking? I am doing commercial business, and why he is asking? And suddenly he maybe found my растерянность on the face,
A bit of confusion.
a bit of confusion on my face, my disorientation. And suddenly he said, I have an election in several months. I will say that I was creating these workplaces, but to have a right to say so, I should help you somehow. And I told, is it possible to put one bus stop close to this building because there is no transport at all? And he told, yes, I want. So after several months, I was having photos when this person was saying that he created 1,550 workplaces, and he was very proud of it. But from other side, I was proud that I have a bus stop. I could not even dream to have it. But from the side of this very wise man, it was exactly the correct work with stakeholders. I was a stakeholder, and I was not knowing what to ask from the governor. And suddenly he was making me a very cheap offer from his side, but he got a huge benefit from it.
And in your example, the stakeholder actually explicitly told you like what exactly is their goal, so that it was relatively easy, and I'm like putting it in the quotes, like relatively easy to come up with a solution. But sometimes the ways they communicate might be a slightly abundant, or maybe they might be like a really brief. So how to identify the goals and how to think about the possible solutions, and more, which is more important, if you still need them to provide you certain resources to solve the problems that they put in front of you, so that you can provide the right solution.
Maxim, this is a very deep and very, very doubtful question. I will say you several also stories. I was working with some clients from Hawaii Island, from some Middle Africa countries, and also Middle East. And this is huge constructing companies. And in several cases, they were inviting me to make negotiations with very dangerous people, because people who was living around, they were threatening my clients to burn everything down to the ash. And I was talking with very dangerous people. Some of them were, I don't know how to say, повстанцы, riot people.
Rebel.
Yes, rebels. Some of them were rebels with Kalashnikov weapons in Africa. Some of them on Hawaii, they were coming with, I don't know how to say, this like kind of shaman, like kind of жрец. How to say?
Priest. Priest
Maybe,
would be okay.
Maybe some kind of priests, yes, not exactly, but some kind of priests. And the same was even in Moscow, where with Daniel were working with a company who was rebuilding 39 old cinemas in a new fashion way, and it was very fancy and so on. But on all these places, we have a fight with people who live nearby. And the main reason is they want discount, or they want something to have, but they have no right to ask for it. But anyway, they are stakeholders.
And if you look into the timeline perspective, obviously, let's say like someone who is like in power, someone who used to get whatever they done like in a very short period of time, how should we deal with this? Because sometimes we also might be facing the problems, and we might not be taking the high-hanging fruit, but we might be looking for low-hanging fruits. So how we could identify them and bring into the right time to keep them not so hungry.
There is a Chinese proverb which is saying, if you want to find a snake, you should touch the grass and it will appear. The same in this case. You should ask press to make some press releases and to print some articles that you intend to do something. Then you will find a lot of people who will come and will offer some services. Then you should wait for a while, because often they will start to fight. If you will start to build your business without knowing how many snakes you have in the grass, you will find them in a very old-fashioned way. You will meet them in court. But if you will say, hi, I want to build this, and then you will wait, they will lose patience and they will appear their heads.
as we're speaking about snakes, do we need to like expect that stakeholders always be on our side and like will be straightforward and no matter what, they will actually, like fulfill their promises? And if not, like what should we do and what should we plan?
I was working with a huge amount of clients, and even in my company, I was working for 20 years. There was a lot of committee with the stakeholders, and sometimes stakeholders were given a very loud promises, even for newspapers, even close to the presidents of the country, but sometimes they were taking their words back, and for me it was not the honest way. And when I asked one of my stakeholder why we're doing this is a fraud, he told me after the crisis everyone will forget if you have the money, but if you have no money, you will be lost in nowhere, and there would be nothing to forgive.
And my last question will be how knowing about stakeholders mastery could help to make this world a better place.
Also, I will tell you a story about Stakeholders Mastery. This was a year when I was raided by some very wealthy people, and they were taking my company, they were taking my server room and my team, and I was forced to go out of the office. This was Ukrainian national antivirus, and my partner was killed. I was guarded and I was not killed, but he was killed because some people wanted to have this business. We have too much money in a very fast way. And I was sitting close to my house on the bench. Suddenly my sister came and asked me, if you want to kill yourself, you should understand that our family never would be the same. And I was thinking, I was so naive. I was thinking about myself. Okay, I lose business, I lose money, maybe I lose the future in my thoughts at this time. But I forget about my mother, father, and other relatives. If they will bury me because I am very, как сказать, слабый человек, very weak person, they will have tears which they не заслужили.
Not deserved.
They are not deserved. So I am trying to be to go on the easiest way for myself, but it would be not the easiest way, for example, for my parents. And I realized that I couldn't kill myself. So this is a very easy example. When I forgot about stakeholders, I was thinking just about me. So if you know about your stakeholders, about your son, about your daughter, about your some other relatives and close people and even neighbors, you never will create big mistakes.
Кидая камень в воду, помните о количестве кругов, которые он пустит. А мы рассмотрели навык стейкхолдерское мастерство и чем он полезен именно вам. Всем мира.